So we've been needing something around the shop to pull broken vehicles and do just maintenance around the track. So we got this 4-wheel drive Kawasaki Mule, but it has one problem with it. She don't run. So what we're going to be doing today is we partnered with Small Engine Warehouse. They have a ton of Repower kits where you can take an old worn out piece of equipment like this and put a brand new Briggs & Stratton engine in it. Everything should bolt right in, plug up. It's a complete plug and play to make this thing run better than it ever did from factory. So let's get in the garage. We'll show you everything that comes with the kit. We're going to go through the full process of swapping this 4-wheel drive Kawasaki Mule into an even better piece of equipment. So everything we need to swap out the engine on this Kawasaki Mule is in this box. We're going with a 23 horsepower Briggs V-twin. The best thing about this Briggs V-twin is you can get a ton of aftermarket and high performance parts. So if you did want to upgrade your Mule, you could. This is the same engine we're going to be installing in the Mule, but this one's been fully built. This thing is going to make close to 40 horsepower, rev to the moon. This is a crazy engine. So comment down below if you want to see us put this one in the Mule at a later date. This thing is going to rip. It's got roller rockers, billet flywheel, forged rods, everything in it. But today, let's just keep it stock. So you can see our kit's pretty simple. We have the engine, and this does have an adapter plate that's already bolted on the bottom of the engine. And what that's going to do is drop in the original holes because the bolt patterns are different on the new Briggs 23 versus the Kawasaki V-twin. So that's already installed. We have an air cleaner adapter because it does have an air box mounted on the chassis. We have a brand new Comet Duster CVT, and this is going to be an upgrade over the Kawasaki one as well. Brand new exhaust that's been painted, and then we have all of our little brackets for our choke and everything to get that installed. So what we have to do now is move over to the Kawasaki Mule and start pulling off the bed so we can get better camera angles and start disassembling everything. Now we are going from a water-cooled engine to an air-cooled engine, so we are going to be removing all the water-cooled components, the radiator, draining all the coolant. We probably won't remove the radiator on camera because that's something that's pretty simple, but we will have to move the back portion, remove the back portion off the engine. So let's jump over to the chassis and get stuff stripped down. We need to take the bed off to get access to the engine bay. This Mule has the hydraulic lift, so we need to pull the 2 pins out of the lifting arms. Then we can unhook the taillight harness and take the 2 hinge pins out to remove the bed. We also made sure to unhook the battery before starting this strip down. Remove the muffler by unbolting the header pipes from the muffler, and then you can take out the 3 bolts off the muffler mount. We can now pull off the 2 header pipes off the engine. Remove the CVT air cleaner, cover, the belt, and both CVT pulleys, and then we can remove the cover backing plate because the new kit will not use this cover. We can remove both coolant lines, the air intake hose, and the fuel line from the car. Remove the governor linkage, choke cable, and the block vent from the engine. Now we can unplug the 3 engine harnesses and unbolt the starter hot and the engine ground. Pull the 4 engine bolts on the bottom side of the engine and unbolt the shifter cables from their mounting bracket, and then we can remove the bracket from the trans and the engine. We can now pull out that worn out Kawasaki engine out of the chassis. We went ahead and removed the entire coolant lines altogether to clean up the engine bay and give us more room.
That's it.
Yeah, we gotta get it in there right. So we had to pull the engine back out of the chassis, and the problem is circled on screen is an ear on this box tab. Basically that tab is hitting the engine plate and won't allow it to fall in there. So Lonnie's going to take off that ear and that ear, just a little bit of it, and then it'll fall right down in place and we can button this kit up. With the engine bolted in, we can now hook up the air intake hose, plug up the new harnesses, and install our new shifter bracket. You're going to use part of the original shifter bracket and install a new one on the outer bracket. This all comes with the kit. We can now bolt it right up to the trans. Pull the stock throttle cable from the bracket and pin back the governor arm with the included hook. Now we can reuse that stock throttle cable on the new throttle bracket that's actually on the engine block. Go ahead, throttle pedal. We can now slide on our rear CVT pulley and get it bolted on and put on our belt. We went ahead and ran an all-new 5/8 breather hose from the engine to the airbox because the stock one wouldn't reach the valve covers. Unplug the factory fuel pump because the new Briggs has a built-in pulse pump. Then we can run a all-new fuel line from the tank all the way to the filter located on the engine. Bolt up the engine ground and the hot cable to the starter solenoid. We have to install a new choke cable, and this is going to go under the seat. There's already a hole for it, so we can run it there and then bolt it right up to the choke bracket on the engine.
Since this is an air-cooled setup in a tight space, we're going to use 2050, and you're like, oh, is that what you chose? No, it's what my shelf had on it. We are going to run some some additive for breaking in the engine to make sure it's breaking in properly. We're gonna put 2 quarts in this hog and we'll check it, and then we got exhaust, and this kit's done other than putting the bed on. The last piece is to install our new exhaust header and bolt the new muffler on the back of the Mule. All right, we're ready.
Go your drag up.
There it is.
Pretty sure that's how it was.
Down.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, keep it up.
Sorry.
Oh, righty. Let's go give it a whirl, why don't we? Right. Never have liked the choke being under the seat. I'll tell you, we didn't get to drive this beforehand, but it's pecking. That was maxed out, but you really don't need any more power. She got plenty. Oh, this is going to be nice around the farm. Now, mules are known not to have the greatest suspension. Oh, the turn radius is real good. Now, I'm assuming, because I haven't had a 4-wheel drive mule, that it's in 4-wheel drive all the time, but I'm not positive. Oh no, I bet it's this gear down here. Never mind. So we are in high. You can put it in high and low, which is cool. And of course it has 4-wheel drive. Half the buttons you can't read anymore, so I couldn't tell you what they say. I didn't even check gas until it's hot. That 23 horse does real nice on here. Again, I didn't drive it before, but she feels pretty good. Oh, yeah. Let's climb this hill over here. See what she's doing.
I don't know how much you guys could hear me when I was on the mule because the roll cage was rattling a little bit, but it took me and Lonnie a total, and you got to think we're filming this on 2 different devices. We're filming it for shorts as well as for YouTube. And it took us probably 3.5, 4 hours to install this kit while filming. So that means, I think if we wasn't filming it and we could just slap this kit on, it would have honestly, to remove everything and reinstall everything was 2 hours. The only problems we ran into, the muffler needed a little massaging to go on, just because I'm sure, you know, during the process of welding the tabs on for the muffler, they could have drawn in, but it was just, you know, bending the tabs a little bit and it fit perfect. Then I showed you guys where we had to cut those little ears on the engine mount on the factory, on the chassis. And after that, the engine fell right in there. And I think that's all the problems we had with the kit. Super nice kit. It took us, like I said, 4 hours total, but it really would have took like 2 hours. I highly recommend. This is our 3rd small engine warehouse repower kit. We did one on a John Deere 400 mower, on a John Deere Gator, and now the Kawasaki Mule. Every one of them went super easy. So next, we're going to try to develop a kit for small engine warehouse for a mower, a diesel mower, switching it over to a 35 horse big block Briggs engine, because that's a popular repower kit they do for certain mowers. And we're going to be doing this mower to see how we would make a kit for them. So that'll be pretty fun to find out if we can do one that they'll put into production. So make sure to check out Small Engine Warehouse. We've linked this exact kit in the video's description. And if you have a piece of equipment, they do bobcats, mowers, lawn tractors, all types of stuff, side by sides like this. They have a ton of kits, and they're always developing new kits. So make sure, if you have an old piece of equipment or want to buy a piece of equipment and don't want to go through the process of fabricating your own, you can buy everything from them. It comes, everything's in a box, and it takes a couple hours to install it, and you're back on the road. And I think this mule, I mean, I've never drove one of these V-twin mules, but the thing has so much torque, it doesn't bog going up a hill. So make sure to check out the kits. Thank you, Small Engine Warehouse, for sending this thing out, and we'll see you on the next one. We love you, and God bless.